much. I'd like to ask our elder, Elise, to open up with a prayer. Thank you, Siniaka. So, can you find a place to sit here? And I would like to call up our chief, Roger Martin, to come up and say a few words. They're, okay, the flag bearers. The young men with the flags, the people with the flags, come over. Bring the flags up on stage.
Good morning again. All right. Oh yes, I forgot to mention all the good people this morning. I want to thank the dog population. They increased during COVID, 150%. All right, ready this morning. We're going to ask the chief to come and do the opening remarks, along with the city mayor, standby councillor, our chief, Roger Martin, ladies and gentlemen, this morning. Opening remarks here today.
Hi, welcome, good morning. Thank you for the elder for the morning prayer. It's really beautiful to see everybody come out on this beautiful day as we celebrate Treaty Days. And let's not forget the ones that were not here today to celebrate. The reason why we're wearing these yellow, orange t-shirts. And like I said, numbers keep rising, so hearts and prayers go to the families. With that being said, it's been a long year and a half, 19 months that we weren't able to get together. Now that we're able to unite once again, let's make the best of it and get along with each other. And remember, the spirit of the treaty was to work together, to lift each other up, work side by side, and empower each other. So that being said, on this day, let's remember the good reasons why we're all out together and to celebrate one another. I'm so happy to see each and every one of you out today. It's going to be a beautiful day, and I'm really looking forward to a beautiful celebration. Masicho, thank you.
Give him a good round of applause, the chief. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, all the visiting councilmen and mayors and all the delegates that even the Métis Nation, just stand by. We're going to be calling on Councillor Dion Blackman.
Thanks. Hello, everybody. It's so awesome to see everybody here. The amount of people here having fun already and here yesterday, it just brings that true treaty days back for me. And everybody can already see it. Everyone's wearing orange, totally in support. It's just beautiful to see. And we haven't had this in a very long time, so it's a lot of thanks to Daniel for putting this together. He put a lot of work into coordinating it, and all of the volunteers and all of our security people. I just want to thank you guys so much for making it a safe weekend and making so that everybody can have fun and, you know, rejoin together and regroup, just like everybody's been waiting for. You know, I'm sure everybody here has seen someone they haven't seen in over a year, just through no fault of their own, right? And it's just beautiful. I've seen so many people already that I haven't seen forever. And I really want everybody here to have a great weekend and just have fun and stay cool and stay hydrated. And thank you for all coming out. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Going to call on Councillor Kelsey Jacko.
You know, hello everybody, it's nice to see you all here. It's nice to gather, you know, and it's nice to see everybody here. And we're gathered right here, right by the lake where I grew up. And that's something I always fight for, you know, with our treaty, passing on our practices, you know, fish, feed the people, share with what we got. You know, and that's all we did, share with what we got. So, you know, it's something always I fight about, equality, you know, amongst everybody. And it's a hot day out there, so everybody make sure you drink a lot of water, keep hydrated. You visit this weekend, you know, our treaty was made with Canada. And that's something I always fight for. The Crown. From Treaty 1 to 7, we signed with the Crown. In 1876. Peace and friendship. It's like, again, I say it's so nice to be out here again, where I grew up. And I'm just so happy, you know, this is way overdue. But let's have a good, sociable weekend. Let's you know, it's okay to say hi. If you have any questions, you know, come talk to me. I'll be giving updates during Treaty Days here today. I'll be down at the lake there volunteering for the games. So I don't want to speak all day, but it's nice seeing you guys. Love you. Masi.
Right on. All right, going to be calling on Bernice Marshall, Councillor.
Good morning to each and every one of you here in this dome. Everyone out there in the campers too. It is such a beautiful day. It's so nice to see a lot of people out. It seems like we were in jail for what, 18 months? Now we're all blooming all over the place. We're popping out here like popcorn, you know? But I'm so thankful and grateful I have my sister, because we could talk Dana pretty good. She disciplines me too at times. That's the way the family is. But in saying that, when I was a child myself, my late parents didn't want us to send us to residential school. My late brother Armin, my sister Vivian, and I. But my late parents said they'll go to jail for us. No matter what is going to happen this time, these ones here are not going to go to residential school. So I never went to school until I was 7 years old, because they kept us at home. But in saying that, I'm so grateful and so thankful my parents at the time stood up and said, nope, they're not going to send us to residential school. And the other story I like to share at this time, Nisi, you know, we used to have treaty days in Ligoff over there. Everybody used to set up tents. Everybody there came on a team of horses. And as children, they make a little boundary for us. They put a little string for us. For our neighbors over there, we cannot go see our neighbor over there. We have to stay within this perimeter, these little lines they put up for us. That's how much respect we had. We couldn't even go to the dance. We could hear the music for the old hall, but we couldn't go there. We were put to bed at 8 o'clock, even when the sun was shining. That's how disciplined we were. And that word respect was a big word. It is a big word for me till today. The young people here today, I like to say, respect one another. Respect your parents. Respect yourself first. That's number one. There's a reason why I'm saying that here today. For what I see here within this community here today, with the drugs, that's where it's going. The young people that I see grew up, they're very pretty, handsome little young kids. Today, when you see them, it's so hard to see that. You young people are our future leaders here. You go get your education. Education is the key. Because I went back to school when I was 38 years old. You know? But in saying that, I encourage all you young people. There's two paths in this world. The good road and the bad road. If you go on that bad road, it'll take you a long time to get back on the good road. On this good road, you'll be very successful. That's the reason why I'm saying that. Because even I myself, I was so self-destructive till I was 25 years old. I made up my own mind that someday I'm going to sober up, and I sobered up that year. 39 years to be. On July 25th, I've been sober. 39 years, and I saw many things happening in this community. In this community is a very good community. All through my travels, this is a good community. We just got to learn to forgive one another, love one another, care for one another, continue to understand one another. I'd like to let you guys know this weekend, if you want to fight me first. Oh, I'm just kidding. You want to fight? If you want to fight, hit those trees over there, those black poplar. Try to punch out those trees before trying to punch out your wife or your girlfriend here. You know? Love one another this weekend, care for one another, show your kindness, and you guys have a good weekend. Masicho.
All right. Okay, Councillor Gina Russell, ladies and gentlemen, this morning.
Ho'a, Salotina. I don't know if I could beat that, so I'll say whatever she said, I agree. It's a poignant time, and the times that we've have to dealt with our grief and our anger and our sorrow of what happened in light of finding the children. I want to thank Judy for being here, for organizing with Linda, for our drummers, to Elise for your beautiful prayer, and to all of the residential school survivors that were able to come home, and especially for their children and their children's children, because now we have to deal with the intergenerational trauma, and we're starting programming so that we'll have ability. And the best teachers are our elders sitting here. So if you have questions, concerns, please feel free to go to them. They're beautiful, they're kind, they're loving, and even though they try to damage them, they still have that beautiful heart in them. And for that, I'm very, very thankful. I want to also invite our people with the Indigenous Services Canada. Right now, they're determining who our children are, and that is wrong. They say the best interest of the child. Those thutine, anybody else other than Denesutline, they don't know what is the best interest for our children, so we want them to come home. And we're going to reach out to you, we're going to ask you how we do that. We have ISK right now saying, yes, with the stroke of a pen, you're treaty, and the other one saying, no, you're not. I want to recognize Amanda McDonald, her sister Melissa Hawkins, who for 9 years continuously kept applying. Finally, their children got the check mark, your treaty. We want to prevent that from happening. And the way we're going to do it is if we come together collectively. We put all our personal issues aside because it's not about us. It's about our children's children and how we're going to maintain that the Denisutline from Hloichotwe maintain what was made in the treaties. Because the sun is going to continue to shine, the rivers are going to continue to flow, and the grass is going to turn green. But they're doing everything to eliminate our treaties. So we need to fight for that because we have an inherent right to this land. And I want to welcome, there's more and more people who are finding through the 60 scoops that they're coming home. Last year, we found some cousins found us. They were the late Rose's daughters, Colleen and Lisa. They'll be here this weekend. So there's more and more people that we have to welcome home, honor them, and that to me is what makes our treaty. And so we're here because the treaty was made with the Crown. And I want to thank all the volunteers and everybody who made this day happen. It wasn't an easy task because up until July 1st, we didn't even know if we were going to have the treaty day. So thank you one and all for being here. And on behalf of George Machadis, he's unable to be here. He's racing in Lloydminster for the next 9-10 days. So if you're in Lloydminster, take in the chuck wagons. So with that, masicho for your time.
Thank you very much. Going to be calling on Travis Machadis, a man of few words. He just, yep, I'm going to come to see you.
I was just going to say, you know, I was just thinking about our CNC meetings there when Kelsey said, you know, those are his favorite words there. It's probably about every second sentence is, you know. But no, it's really good to see everybody out here. You know, it's been pretty hard, you know, going through the COVID-19, you know, the lack of us seeing each other, you know, kind of like how Bernice said, you know, we felt like we were locked up for quite some time. One of the things I wanted to kind of share with you is that, you know, I sat with my grandmother last week and we were talking about residential school, and she said, like she shared some stories that were pretty, you know, kind of hard to listen to, but you know, I sat there and listened to her, and she, the way the story ended was that, you know, in her eyes, it was almost like a victory. You know, she made it out of that school, and when I think about the over 3,000 children that didn't make it that far, it's kind of heart-wrenching to kind of see that stuff all over the news. But you know, we're here today to celebrate, and we're here to, you know, like some of my colleagues said, you know, we're like family, and that's the way I look at it too. I always look forward to this day, you know, for as far back as I can remember. And you know, for us to have to skip that out last year, it kind of really shredded me. It still kind of bothers me even to kind of shorten it down to only a one-day event. But you know, we were out here yesterday camping, and we're going to be out here for the full weekend. One of the things too my grandma spoke to me the other day about was that, you know, our identity. She told me that I'm not Cold Lake First Nations. She said, you're Hlue Chuk Tue. That's what she said to me. And she went like this to me, right to my chest. That's who you are. Don't ever forget that. So that's one thing she said. She said that, and if we can start there, she said things will get better. And You know, the one thing that we're going to celebrate here this weekend is that we're dedicating these fireworks, and it's going to be, from what I hear, it's supposed to be better than probably some of the best fireworks we had in the past. And we're going to dedicate this to the residential school children that didn't make it out of the schools, and to also to the survivors. So when you guys are sitting out there and you guys are watching the fireworks, think about that. Think about the families that we have here today, and how we live and live together in harmony. You know, sometimes things may not be as good as we want it to be day in, day out, but eventually if we stick together as a nation, things will get better. Love you all. Masicho.
Right on. Give them a good round of applause, all the leadership here today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got some visitors here visiting from the city of Cold Lake. All right. The mayor, Craig Copeland. All right, you're up for a challenge there, Mr. Copeland. They said we have the best fireworks in the Lakeland. Over there, Canada Day, they have the best fireworks in Onion Lake. So, all right.
Dave, that's great. He's funny. You know, first of all, you know, it's an honor as Mayor of City Cold Lake, representing our community, to be asked to speak. I always come out every year for Treaty Day celebration. It's important that our community come out and support a statement together before Canada Day. It was really important because as politicians, this COVID has actually really silenced us, because we were basically for 18 months or so, or Bernice said I think it was 18 months, our job was so much different. We were, you know, locked up behind Zoom calls and all this nonsense. And so as the province started opening up the restrictions, it's an opportunity for the elected people to speak. And I think you'd be surprised how many people really took notice across Alberta on the joint statement that we did. And we've had a lot of communities say, you know, good for Cold Lake First Nations and the city to get together to make a statement that this is not right. And you know, I'm proud to be here wearing my orange. I think that having the firework dedicated on Canada Day and here tonight it's part of the healing process, but also I think there's people in Canada that didn't really know the issue of the residential schools, and I think there's a better awareness out there, and our job as elected people is to continue to make sure that it's not forgotten. So I'm honored to be here. The program is really cool. I see they're already in the lake, but in terms of the fireworks, you know, we laid down a pretty good fireworks on Canada Day, but I'm pretty sure tonight's going to be pretty awesome, and hopefully everybody's going to come out. There'll be a lot of people, probably including me, out on the boat, and I think I just want to wish everybody a great day. It is very hot out there, and you know, I just want to say that Cold Lake First Nations Council and Chief, you heard their passion in their voices, and it's a pleasure to work with them as much as we can. And I think our community, our area, is going to start to rebound and come out of this COVID in a positive way. And I think coming together on days like this and Canada Day is going to help our communities heal. So thank you for inviting me.
Give them a good round of applause. All right. We're going to be calling on the Métis Nation to come available. Sonia. Oh, Andrea. All right. You know what? Every time we see the mayor, and every time you people, when you're looking at the fireworks tonight, and when you go to Cold Lake next year, fireworks just go, All right. Oh, Paulette. All right. Paulette outside also. All right.
Hi, everybody. My name is Andrea Sandmeyer, and I'm the Métis Nation of Alberta Vice President for Region 2, so that includes the Cold Lake, Bonnyville area. And I just want to say thank you to the elder for the opening prayer and your words, everyone's words of encouragement here today. On behalf of the Métis Nation of Alberta and Madam President Audrey Patra, I would like to thank the coordinators, the people who coordinated all this, and for the invitation to come and bring greetings for today's celebration of Cold Lake First Nation Treaty Days. We are here today gathering to celebrate our culture, our tradition, and our ancestors, and most important of all, our youth. Our children are our future, and we need to instill into them the pride, the wisdom, and the truth so that one day, they can have true reconciliation with this country, and the healing process can begin. We at the Métis Nation understand the importance of youth to define what reconciliation means to them, to encourage education and awareness on the purpose of UNDRIP and how it is going to be implemented is something that all of us can be involved in and have our voices heard. Our youth are our future, and are guiding us through this process. Us guiding them through this process can lead to only success for future generations. We are relying on this new generation to fill the gap, to get involved, to educate and break the cycle that a lack of recognition has created in our homes and in our communities. The time is right to continue the discussion on how we can move forward as nations of people, how we can move forward in a positive way to remember the past but look forward to the future. Thank you, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of today's celebration, the good food, the great music. I know the band. So have lots of fun.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up once again for all these good leaders of the different communities represented. We have a couple of more. All right, we'll see you later, ladies and gentlemen. Try to come on over to the Indian relay races. I'm going to be the MC over there today, so come on over.
Thank you, David. You really, you saved my day here by helping me out. I appreciate that. We have a couple of more speakers from Dave Zimmerman to have a few words from Victim Services.
Hello, everybody. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. My name is Dave Zimmerman. The people that don't know me, I'm from Cold Lake Victim Services. I've been the program manager. I've had the privilege to be able to get to know Cold Lake First Nations for the last 14 years that I've been doing this job, and it's been a privilege. It's been an honor to get to know the people, the culture, and we want to continue on helping the victims of crime, getting to know people, getting to know what you guys have gone through, and the children of the residential situation. I wanted to say my thoughts are with you and prayers, and I actually don't need a microphone. I wanted to tell you a little bit about me. Elise Charlin, she gave me the name. I do have a name here. The one that speaks too loud. The one that speaks too loud. And you know what? I take honor and privilege in that name. Yeah, I got a loud voice, but I also have a loud voice for you. I want you guys to know that you guys are heard, and Victim Services is here to serve you for your victims' rights, to give you the information, the supports, and the referrals if you are, unfortunately, a victim of crime. So I just wanted, again, to introduce myself, and I want you guys to enjoy this weekend and just have a lot of fun. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave. The other, we usually have my mistake. I was supposed to invite the RCMP because that's tradition. With treaties, usually we ask them to come, and they come and dress in their red suit. In Denesuchine, we call them Be'idel Kozas. That was our name for the RCMP. Anyway, they're included in our treaty, so I'll talk a little bit about it. But I've asked Corporal Robin Hunt. She didn't know she was going to come and speak, so she's representing the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and I'd like her to say a few words.
Yeah. Hi there. I won't speak too long. I just wanted to thank everybody for having us. And I'm new here. It's my third day. So it's really nice to come out and see everybody. I'm so glad that everybody came out, and welcome back to Treaty Days. It's wonderful that we can finally have it again. I hope to meet a lot more people, and we'll be kind of roaming around during the weekend as well. If you guys have questions or anything, or would just like to chat, come and see us. Thanks very much.
Just
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the RCMP officer had spoke, but on the same token, I want to give it up to Canada for giving us the first Indigenous Governor General in history. Thank you. So they're here to serve and protect. Long time ago, with the making of the treaty, the RCMP, they were the NWMP. They were here to protect the people. And then they were there when they were given $5, all right? So that's how it started. So there's a lot of history when it comes to the making of the treaty. A lot of times I go out of my way to different treaty events. And I encourage you young people from Cold Lake First Nation, go to Fort Pitt if you remember the dates of the treaty. The first time the treaty was signed was August 23rd, 1876, over in Fort Carleton. A couple of weeks ago, I went to Fort Carleton. And a couple of weeks ago, on my own expense, I went all the way down to where they found 751 children. I went over there. And then where they say Cold Lake First Nation people signed the treaty was in Fort Pitt. That was in September 9, 1876. So all you good people, all you young people, try to go over there. Remember that the treaty is a promise. When you make a promise, you have to follow through, especially when it comes to using sacred items. Like we see here, we have the pipes. They have pipe ceremony. They have the drum. It all has a meaning. So when you come here today, don't forget treat the food that's going to be served here today. Treat it like how they used to do it a long time ago when I was a little guy. They used to give out rations. And they're gonna have a free barbecue, I believe, at 12 o'clock. Hot dogs, everything. And then they're gonna have a supper too at 5 o'clock. All right, here we go back with Linda.
so every year days. And so it's very, very important. We're part of Treaty 6, but I'll tell you the story about Treaty Days from what I understand, but I'll get Margaret to read the English version of what John Janvier had written. So just go ahead and do the English.
Okay. I am going to write a story on how the treaty was first negotiated, the way my father told me. The Queen of Great Britain made an agreement with the original people of this land. I'm going to relate the story according to the way that the Nesutline understood it. When my late father, Harry Janvier, was a young man, he was selected to be the headman, the chief of Cold Lake, Tluechuktue. The late grandmother, Angelique Muskratfoot, selected him in a traditional way. That time he understood two languages very well. Both Denesusline and Cree were the same to him. In 1930, when he was 30 years old, on his birthday, July 12, on that day, he was chosen as headman. That time, some of the Dene and Cree elders who witnessed the treaty negotiations on the bank of the big river, Saskatchewan River, along the hill were still alive. My father was chosen to be a headman in the traditional Denisutline way. Since then, he served the people of Cold Lake for many years until 1946. Because of his language skills, both the Dene and Cree elders taught him how the agreement was made with the Queen's commissioners. There, by the river, on a hill, people gathered. The Cree, Stoney, and Denisutline of Cold Lake all gathered together. The three languages from this land and the English language were used to reach an agreement on the issue of land. Because of this, every time something was said, it was translated into these four languages. Arrangements had been made to have translators present. And so the Denisutline were present at the treaty negotiations, understood the Queen's commissioners when they talked about the land. The commissioners told all the people who were gathered, "We want some of your land, because many people from the Queen's land will be coming with their children. That is why we are asking you for land, 1 foot deep." Of course, they too will be growing vegetables for their livelihood. Also, we are asking for trees as well to build homes for their families and barns for their farm animals. We don't want the rest of the trees because it belongs to you. We are not asking for this river that flows, nor any other lakes. All this water is definitely yours. If you want to take fish from the lakes, no one will bother you about it. Also, all that lives on the water will not be bothered about. Only the water they will use, they are asking for. Also, whatever lives in the depths and whatever lives on top of the water, we are not asking for. Only the water they will use is what they are asking for. Otherwise, everything else is still yours. And when there are many people on the land and what you make a living on is depleted and there is famine and starvation, then the government will assist you. You can hunt whenever and wherever you want because this is your land. That's one thing you will not ever be bothered for. And the way you make a living is going to be different in the future. That is why your children will be educated. They will be educated the way you wish it will be well. Teachers will be sent into your communities wherever you live. In the past, disease swept into our communities. In preparation for those kinds of epidemics in the future, there will be a medicine bag in your communities for whenever the need arises. And there will be a doctor living in your midst. If you are sick, he will take care of you and cure you of your illness. And in the future, whatever land you choose to live on, it will be surveyed, and that is where you will live forever. We will not bother you for that land. And these redcoats among us, whatever land you choose, will protect it for you. And if you hear war around you from within your reserves, these redcoats will protect you. What I am saying here is not for a short period of time. What I have said here is forever. This is what the Queen has said to you. This is what he told the people when he was sent to meet with the people during the treaty negotiations. That is why our late grandfathers Jack Fish and his brother Antoine agreed to the proposals made by the Queen's representatives. Because of this, and having informed that the Denisutline are united in their agreement with the treaty, the Denisutline still hold on to the promises made at this treaty. And these are the words of late Harry Janvier.
Matsi, thank you. Thank you, Margaret. I was going to do the Denisutline version, the reading of the Denisutline version, but anyway, I'll just tell you a story about how the treaties were signed. I guess Uldai, Jackfish, that's his name, Uldai, was out hunting with sweetgrass, and they were out hunting buffalo. And at the time when the commissioners came to sign treaties in Fort Pitt, the Uldai and Sweetgrass heard about this big meeting that was taking place. So they went over there to go check it out. And by the time they got there, the meeting was all over. People were making all kinds of preparation for feast and everything. And so Uldai started asking around what was said at this meeting, but because he thought it was very important, he asked the commissioners to reopen the meeting. And so when he reopened the meeting, then he got all what the information was, what the negotiations were. And it was Uldai who said that he wanted schools in his community because he saw that in the future, life was going to be different. People were not going to be able to make a living off the land like they used to. And because there was more visitors, more non-Indigenous people coming into Canada and settling out west, he knew that things were going to be different. And so he wanted education. He wanted our people to be educated and learn the white man's way and to be able to make a living for themselves and their families. And so anyway, when they decided, when all the talks were over, Uldai and his brother Antun, they agreed that it was good, and that's how come us Denisutline people, they signed on our behalf, on the Denisutline's behalf. So we're the only further south Denisutline group. We're surrounded in this area by Nihiawan, by Cree people. And so some of the things that were said in the treaties, number one, they said that the commissioners said they wanted only 1 foot of land. That was the height, the depth of the plow. And that was so that they could grow crops to live. And they said they wanted only what belongs to us. And they said they will take only the water that they need, and the rest of the water belongs to us. And they said, your people will not go to war. If you hear guns around your reserve, the RCMP is here to protect you. They will protect you from war, and your men don't have to go to war. And they also said that not only the business of protection, they also said that you are free to live the way you've always lived. You can always come and go wherever you want, the way you've lived before. And so our people agreed with that. They wanted to continue to live the way they've always lived before. Off the land, our people were free and self-sufficient, and they traveled back and forth. There was no welfare at that time, and our people looked after themselves. And so the other things that the commissioner promised was to give each chief a new suit of clothing, and also some horses, oxen, wagon, all these so that our people could start farming. And also nets and ammunition and all those things to help us in our livelihood. These were some of the things that they promised. They also said that we were not to pay taxes, that we're still free to live the way we were. We don't pay taxes. And so that's what the commissioners tell the kids. This is what we want the kids to know. So anyway, thank you very much. And okay.
Can I just say something?
Okay.
Good morning, Salut Ina. My Indian name is Notago Dayogan, which I was told means grandmother spirit. The grandmother spirit is the keeper of the north. My name when I was born, the name I was given was Judith Marie Grandbois. Welcome to Denisultina territory. I just wanted to share something that came to me, very simple. For years and if they didn't believe this land didn't belong to us, they sure would never have signed treaty with us. To me, that confirms that this land is ours. Not only where we live, but all of Canada, all of Turtle Island belongs to us. So I ask my non-Indigenous brothers and sisters to please always have respect for us wherever we go. I know that's not the case in most places, but here, we just welcome you to our territory.
Flags. Usually it's the elders that do that, but this time we had 2 young men and 2 young women to carry in the flags. Masi, thank you. And I would also like to thank our elder, most respected elder, Elise Charlin. She made an effort to come. Even though she wasn't feeling well, she made it, she walked around. I'm so thankful for her. She's always been here for us, and I thank her for the prayer. For the welcoming speech and the attendance by all our chief and council, for our chief Roger Martin, Councillor Bernice Marshall, Councillor Dion Blackman, Councillor Kelsey Jacko, Councillor Gina Russell. George is not here. Councillor Travis Machadis. Thank you all for being here and for supporting us in this one-day celebration. And I really thank you and I honor you because you're all wearing orange t-shirts today. That goes to show how sensitive Cold Lake First Nations is to the events. That's Andrea Sandmare, David Zimmerman, Corporal Robin Hunt also, thank you. And the drummers, the Treaty Day Committee also. Thank you to the Treaty Day Committee. Even though it's just a one-day event, everybody got together and of course I was trying to be real bossy here, try to get all this stuff organized here. And so anyway, I'll have to tell you a story. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, Darren, one of the people that work for us, he came to my office and he said, "Do you have a Cold Lake First Nations flag?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "But I want it back for treaty days." Well, anyway, he says, "I'll get you another one, but I need this flag." So he took our flag and brought it to Fort Wing. I think that's where they wanted to hang it. Well, anyway, I waited and waited and waited and waited. And just the night before, I think it was Thursday night, I was getting really, really nervous. Geez, I don't have the Cold Lake First Nations flag. They ordered some, but they did. So anyway, Darren came in on Friday. He said, I'm sorry I didn't get your flag to you. This is what happened. He said, but I'll get you one. Well, him and somebody in Public Works got a ladder and climbed the pole in front of the band office and grabbed the First Nations, the Cold Lake First Nations flag. I thought I was going to be climbing that pole to get that flag. I was just beside myself. So we have the Cold Lake First Nations flag from the band office, so I have to return it. So we also have sponsors, people that give us money to run our programs. And the biggest sponsor we have, I would like to acknowledge, is Primco. Primco Dene. The other sponsors are OSUM, Tri-Res, TD Bank, Seven Lakes, CNRL. CNRL is funding all the cultural events. That's our games, the opening ceremonies, the drummers, the drum dance, our traditional games, our feasts. So they're covering all that. CNRL, thank you. COMEC, Enbridge, Interpipeline, Sask Energy, and Witten Law LLP. Thank you very much. And before I let you go, we do have a barbecue at 12 noon around here, way late, but I'll give you a little what's going on today. There's a tug of war over there. At 1, the traditional games start, the run and scream stick and the adult stick throw. Around 2 or 3 is the bannock and tea competition over there. Mr. Mayor, I think you should join our bannock and tea competition. So you make a fire, and whoever has the fastest fire and the best bannock and best tea. So I'm going to challenge all you visitors to come and join us and join some of our competition. At 4 or 3,